Well. How you loving? How you loving? How you loving? How you loving, family? How you loving? How you loving? How you loving? I am Kaisi, Divine Midwife of Soul Destiny. How you loving? Valerie Love. You are on Valerie Love TV. And I'm coming to you live every single day, except the weekend, of course, Monday through Friday at 12 noon, so that we can have real talk, real conversation. You know how we do LoveTubers, real conversation about your freedom and about truth, because the truth shall set you free. Okay, the truth shall set you free. How you loving? How you loving? Look at all our babes. Look at all our babes. Come on, peeps. Come on, peeps. Come on, peeps. How you loving? 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 Smash that like button, baby. Let's get a smash-a-thon. Y'all like these earrings? Look, I had the opportunity. You know how I am with earrings and makeup. I had the opportunity and face jewels. How you loving? I had the opportunity to go to my vault yesterday because you'll know I was in New Orleans. I'm traveling the whole world. Come on, Austin. Come on, Jack. Come on, peace. Come on, peace. Oh, you love them? Oh, sounding lovely. Oh, perfect. Thank you. So you'll know I was in New Orleans because I'm traveling all over the world. Oh, thank you so much, Rojo. Is that Rojo or Ro Jr.? Rojo. Queen V, how you loving? How you loving, Queen V? You played back last night. Love it. The new moon. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Mwah. I love you and I appreciate you. Come on, let's light it up. So family, I have a request. This work must go all over the world. Would you go grab a subscriber for me so that we can go over 100,000 this year? We have a goal on this channel. Well, we got a lot of big goals. I have millions of subscribers in my mind and in the vision. Oh my God, thank you so very much. Thank you. Mwah. I love you. And I appreciate you. So family, we have a goal here. You can't just sit here and take in all this good information without sharing it. Go grab someone and say, you must subscribe to this channel and you must turn on the bell notifications so that you can be here with us. This work must spread. It must. So would you all do that for me? Would you all do that for truth? Forget about for me, for truth. And it's needed in this time. It's needed. Tell people, go to ValerieLove.com. Tell people, Universal Faith, how you loving? Tell them, go to ValerieLove.com. Buy one of her books. Just pick one. I got 18 now. Tell them, just pick one and buy the books and support and stand with us. Danielle, how you loving? Danielle, I'm going to send you a little something for your birthday too, because I've been thinking about you. I'm so happy to see you. I was thinking about you and your birthday, and we were going to be together at the Christian Witches Convention, and we refunded all of the tickets, and it was bittersweet, It was bittersweet because we had to tell everyone, Danielle, you know how I love you. Even back weeks ago, before all this craziness, it dropped in my spirit to X all the events. And that's very unusual for us. Oh my God, that's so unusual for us because Spirit told me to do that before all this broke out. So little did I know that we probably would have lost money and everything, and people probably would have lost airline tickets because they wouldn't have let us go forward. So the hotel probably wouldn't have let us stay there. So Spirit saw it in advance, and I was just obedient to it. And I said, okay, we're just going to release this. Like, really, Spirit? The Christian Witches Convention? Really? I'm so glad, because look what unfolded. No one knew that this would unfold. So today I have notes. I have facts. I have research. I bring truth. That's always my intention. My intention is to share with you the truth. Why? Because as a minister and as a spiritual consciousness and one who is here for the ascension of the planet and transformation, it was, oh wow, it was canceled the day you were, oh my goodness, you saved yourself the money of buying a ticket and everything. I hadn't had my flights yet, so thank God. Did one of my jewels fall off? Oh yeah, one of them fell off. Okay. Well, y'all know how I do. Y'all know jewels and sequins pop off of me on the regular. So, hey, whatever. We just keep going. So, I'm so thankful that you didn't book the ticket. And I'm so thankful that Spirit showed us what was coming on the horizon, because none of us knew that the world would become so bizarre so fast. And Spirit is showing us something. Spirit is showing us our shadow self, our collective shadow self. So I have 15 things to share with you today. How you loving, Linda? Come on, come on, come on. So family, like I said, we're going to over 100,000 subscribers this year. Don't play with me. If you have been watching this channel, I got 1,000 videos here for you, and I will give you 1,000 more. Plus, you got to do your part. Your part is you got to go grab somebody and say, subscribe to this lady's channel. Watch these vids, binge this. You gotta share. Like, word of mouth is the biggest, it's the biggest thing, okay? Oh, good. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm so thankful. I'm so happy you're here. So happy. So family, would you do that for me? I want to hear it. I want to hear it. Just put a yes in the comments. Just talk to me. Yes, because y'all know how I show up to you. Don't play. And I will keep showing up to you. And I will require and ask you to show up to me as well. Yes? Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Oh my God, beautiful. This is a partnership. Beautiful. Ah, got the book. Yay! And reviews on all the books so that I'll know. Look, your family's scared of me. Wait, let me read this comment. My family will be scared because you use term witch. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to upset the status quo. I'm not here to make people feel comfortable. Here's the definition of a minister. Definition of a minister, hey Darla, how you loving? Is to afflict the comfortable and comfort the afflicted. That's the definition of a minister. So a minister like Minister Farrakhan, like Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., like Reverend Dr. Iyanla Vanzant. I follow behind some very, very big shoes. A minister is supposed to afflict you. People think a minister is supposed to be this calm, nice little. No, a minister is supposed to be like Minister Farrakhan. You got a word, bring the word, and don't mince it. Bring it. And let the chips fall where they may. The people that can get with it can get with it. The people that don't get with it, whatever. It don't really matter, because God got ministers for everybody. Okay, so you can't get it from Minister Farrakhan, get it from Reverend Dr. Iyanla Vanzant. Can't get it from Reverend Dr. Iyanla Vanzant, get it from Joyce Meyer. You can't get it from Joyce Meyer, get it from Joel Osteen. You can't get it from Joel Osteen, get it from Reverend Valerie Love. Wherever you got to go, God got a minister for you. And that minister is going to bring you the truth. And if you feel good all the time in that minister's presence, that minister is not doing their job. Because just like Jeremiah, just like Isaiah, just like Ezekiel, just like every prophet God has ever sent, it was an unpopular word. And it was a word that the masses were like, oh my God, stone them. But the prophet was like, whatever. Elijah, I'm protected by God. Whatever, people, this is what God said. Take it or leave it. People want to love on Jeremiah, but you forget Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Isaiah, Elijah. They had a very unpopular message. Every single prophet, Daniel, going against the masses. But you think a prophet is supposed to tell you something that makes you feel good. No, probably a prophet will tell you something to make you feel very bad. Why? Because the feelings are connected with the ego. When you're in your feelings, you're in the ego. Period. So let's get to some truth. You know how they say, truth sets us free, but first it pisses us off. Woo! Give me some truth, baby, because I want to be free. Slap me upside the head with the truth, God, gently with the feather of my eye, because I will pay attention and I will study to show myself approved. And I will not be led by the masses, and I will not follow stupidity. And I will use the mind God gave me. And I will share what I find. And I'm never going to stop doing that until there is no more breath in this vessel. And then I will ascend to my Father, Mother God. And where Mother, Father God, I pray, will say, well done, good and faithful servant. That's what I live for. I live for my Mother, Father God's well done. I don't live for you. I don't live for nobody else. So take that to the bank. Here we go. 15 things to know about COVID. Laura, you with me? You with me? I'm preaching to the choir because y'all know how this goes. I'm preaching to the fucking choir because y'all know how this goes. And look, Kaisi is standing up today. Why am I standing up? Because Spirit told me to stand on your feet, right? Remember how you took the prophet Elijah, was it Elijah, who was in the valley of dry bones? And he said, stand on your feet, son of man. And he stood on his feet. You know, a lot of times God would tell prophets, stand on your feet, stand up. Because that's what we have to do in this world. Come on. Danielle, welcome. We got a new member. Woo! Thank you, God. Welcome, Danielle. My God, I love you. I love your work. Oh, my goodness. Will this video be safe to share? That's a very good question, Queen V. I'm going to say yes, because it's truth. It's truth. Let's go to number 1. These are 15 things to know about COVID, and this is fact-based, evidence-based. This is not conjecture. This is not conspiracy theories. This is not he said, she said. These are facts. Are we ready? Truth. Number 1. The 4 killers, which you could call the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse: heart disease, cancer, stroke/hypertension, and diabetes. These are the pandemic diseases that are chronic, that kill more people than COVID could even scratch the surface of. No one is concerned, because these 4 horsemen of the apocalypse kill people slowly, and it seemed like COVID killed people fast. It's not so. Don't lose perspective. Furthermore, doctors kill 350,000 to 440,000 people every single year in the United States, and no one says anything. Don't lose perspective and get into pandemonium. We have seen the results of fear and chaos and panic and crisis. Hysteria. That's what we have seen. And when you see global hysteria, your job is to be the calming, rock solid, faith-filled presence of love and light that says, we'll get through this. Let's examine the facts. Let's take an evidence-based, truth-based approach, and let's see what we're working with. And whatever we're working with, we're certain we can overcome it, because ye are gods. Number 2, the PCR test that they use to test for COVID. The creator of the PCR test said, this test is never to be used for people who are for epidemics. This is the creator of the test. Now, these tests were broadly disseminated. Many of the tests were contaminated, which means they cannot give you an accurate reading. So on Facebook, I did a few Facebook Lives, and people said, oh my goodness, 4 of my friends tested positive for COVID. Do you realize that with that testing, all of us, 80% of us would have tested positive for COVID, because they swab you in the nose, and yeah, maybe a little COVID virus is in your nose, and maybe you completely asymptomatic, you have no symptoms, or maybe it's swabbed in your nose and you had it 6 months ago or a year ago, and you got a little sneezy or a little coughy or a little itchy, and it passed. Most of us already had COVID. Okay? Hey, give me some love. How you loving? Mwah. That's number 2. So that test is not an accurate test. I'm going to share with you research from Dr. John Ioannidis, who is with, I believe, Stanford University in California. A powerful, powerful voice of reason and diplomacy in this whole global hysteria and ridiculousness. I will share with you what works better than the PCR test, okay? I love this because I love examining truth. I love science. I love facts. I love reading. I'm an air sign. Air signs are all about logic, intelligence, deduction, looking at things. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. No, I listen to conspiracy theorists. I myself am not a conspiracy theorist because to me, ye are gods. Why would you be concerned about a conspiracy against you? You God. How long have people had conspiracies against God? God is still God. So God remains unchanged by conspiracies. So it doesn't concern me. Number 3, the antibody testing. So the PCR test is not accurate. Okay, maybe you have it. It can't even tell you how much is in there. Okay? The antibody test. Number 3, please take notes. Write these things down. Research them. Study to show yourself approved. Don't believe what they tell you in the mass media. The mass media is controlled by, oh, that maybe that's conspiracy theory. Well, we do know that the mass media has a song. Okay? And anyone that goes against that song, they're going to try to shut them down, just like they tried to shut down David Icke, just like they tried to shut down Brian Rose on London Real. Now, I don't agree with everything David Icke says. I do know David Icke has a right to speak, like I have a right to speak, like you have a right to speak, like every person has a right to speak and to be heard. And then you draw your own conclusions. That's what I would offer. Listen to whom you feel led to listen to, just like you're feeling led to this video right now. Listen to it. I don't expect you to agree with it. I expect you to be the sovereign being you are, to study to show that self-approved, and to use your 3 brains, your head brain, your heart brain, and your belly brain. And when all 3 of these brains are in unison and are working together, you arrive at truth, baby. God gave you a head brain to figure out facts and figures. God gave you a heart brain to discern truth, and God gave you a belly brain, which is your intuitive knowing, to immediately say, And the intuitive, your belly brain is so subtle, and your belly brain gave you the answer long before your head brain caught up. See, your head brain is slow, your belly brain is instant. That's why they call it your gut. I just knew it. Something told me to pick up my keys. Now your keys is locked in the car. Something told me to, and now look what happened. Because the belly brain, that's the fastest brain you have. And the heart brain is bringing you into awareness with your oneness with all of life. And your head brain is the slowest brain of all. Your head brain is for you to figure out math and science and so forth and so on. The head brain follows the belly brain and the heart brain. Now, let's go to number 3. Let's look at these antibodies. Dr. Johnny Ioannidis in California, they did a study in Santa Clara, and all they did was they went around and they tested people for the antibodies. That means you already came in contact with COVID, you have no symptoms, you never got sick, you didn't die, and you're A-okay. And guess what they found out? They found out that a very large proportion of the people, like I've been saying from the beginning, had antibodies to it, which means what? It means that you already came into contact with it, and your ingenious immune system, better than any fucking vaccination. Oh, vaccinations, that's a whole nother conversation. Your ingenious immune system already dealt with the critter. Let me say something, family. Do you know how long viruses have been around? Viruses have been around before humans. Do you really think you're going to stop a virus? Bacteria has been around on the planet longer than humans. There's no bacteria, no virus that your own immune system, Mother Nature, life, let's call it, already equipped you. She didn't leave you just defenseless for some virus to come from outside and get you. Nothing comes from the outside and gets you. Nothing. All things we experience are experienced from the inside out, from the conjuring of our own mind. So a mind that is either not creating, are we right? Or like 75% bacteria. Guess what? It is said that the bacteria created, there's like a joke that the bacteria created humans because they wanted to travel faster. They wanted to go all around the world. And they were so tiny that they were like, let's make a host. And they made humans. And you're covered in bacteria. You're full of bacteria. You're mostly bacteria. If you were able to look at your skin, the families that are crawling on you at all times, but because you cannot see them, you're full of bacteria. You're covered in bacteria. Viruses right now are going in. There's probably 10 viruses in your body right now that your immune system is handling beneath your level of consciousness, your conscious mind. And everyone has cancer cells in their bodies. So your body, how many times have you had cancer? Depending on when you go to the doctor, they'll pick more up than usual. This is your body. So this antibody test that was conducted, this is number 3, write these down, please, and share this vid. This antibody test tests, once again, if you have the antibodies, okay? And that means you've already had it, you've already come into contact with it, because it was not hitting California like it was hitting many other places. And California, a lot of people from China come to California. When I travel the world, when you go that direction to the east, they take you over to California, and then from California, you fly to Taiwan and then China and the other countries in the east. That's the route they take you. So when I go to that part of the world, you go to California. Lots of people are coming. They said COVID was probably living in California for months, from November of last year. Number 4. This means because the antibody test that says, yeah, you've come into contact with it in your immune system because you have the antibodies for it in your body. This sampling that they did, number 4, proves, therefore, that the risk of death from COVID is no more than, wait for it, driving home from work in your car. Now, of course, this risk is going to vary depending on where you live. So let's say you live in New York City. Well, it is clear why a virus would love New York City. 8 million people packed together. Viruses need hosts. A virus is intelligent. I actually love viruses because I find them very fascinating. I find viruses very fascinating. I'm not anti-virus. I like viruses because I learned from them. And this virus, if you were a virus and you needed to be in a host, because if you land on a surface, you're going to die in 3 days. And you need to be in a host. Where would you go? That's common sense. You would go, there's an intelligence to this virus. You would go to where there's the most people. Now, why did New York get hit so badly? New York, New Jersey, Queens, and Long Island, that like little triangle right there was hit so badly because there are underlying causative factors that have not been taken into consideration, and no one takes these things into consideration. When you look at a place like Texas, all these people, but they're spread out far. And if I was a virus, I would be like, Texas, it's too much space. These people are not all clustered together. I need to be able to jump from person to person real fast, right? It can't do that in Texas. Texas has something like 9 cases. Some places, 1 case in the whole state. You see, so look at the whole picture, not just, oh my God, on the news, this many people dead, this many people dead, this is bad, this is very bad, bunker down, batten your hatches, oh, the sky is falling up. Oh my God, it's COVID-geddon, COVID Armageddon. The zombie apocalypse is upon us. It's COVID-pocalypse. No, it's not. No, it's not. And we would arrive at this. Gypsy Soul, we gotta do the bar. Welcome, 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 welcome. I have my bell. Child, I got my bell the other day. I got my bell. Because, you know, I travel all over the world. And I'm in Miami right now. So I got to ring the bell. Ooh, I got the God bumps. Got to ring the bell for all our new members. Okay? Now, so therefore, if a lot more people are packed together in New York, New Jersey, Queens, let's go deeper. Deeper, when we look at the hospital situation, what was going on? People were catching it at the hospital. The doctors now know that people were catching it at the hospital because you go to this place, New York City, where they're overrun, tons of people. I'm from New York. You can't move without touching 20, 30, 50 people in New York. You can't get on a subway without touching 100 people in New York. That's a viral playground, right? So now when you think about it, Queens, we're talking about an area and a population where people were already disadvantaged, disenfranchised. This is why it's so important for us to lift everyone. Because homeless people, there was a place in Boston where they went into a homeless shelter and tested people. 35% of the people, quote unquote, had it. Homeless people. Why? Because they were unsheltered, unprotected, outside, or whatever the case may be. And guess what? Out of the 35% homeless people that had it, none of them had antibody. None of them had it. They tested, yeah, COVID is present. They were totally no symptoms, which means, I'll tell you one thing, homeless people probably have one of the most robust immune systems of all people. All of us that are sheltered in our home, we become like the boy who lived in a bubble, and your immune system does not become stronger by sheltering. That's never the answer. That's never the answer. Everyone knows you become more rugged and robust by being exposed to a lot of things. Why do you think Bitcoin survived for 10 years now? Over 10 years. Because Bitcoin has been attacked, pummeled, and it just keeps on chugging, keeps on chugging. If it were happening, woo, come on, what in the morning? 3-finger Thursday, baby, come on. Woo! Danielle set it off up in here. Set it off on the left, y'all. Set it off on the right, y'all. Set it off. Set it off. Money in the vortex. And you know what's so beautiful about that, family? All of us, it's the new moon energy. We just did the new moon prayer last night, right? With the book release. It's beautiful. Thank you, Danielle. Billionfold return to you. Yes. Love it. So the risk, if now where a lot of people have it, then that means Miss doing that, Danielle. Girlfriend, I love it. I love it. I love it. Because Danielle, she be like popping 3 figures. Oh, by the way, hey, y'all, here's a little something, something. Rich, baby, rich. Come on, princess. Money in the vortex, money in the vortex, money in the vortex. Money in the vortex. Love it, love it, love it. Mwah! I love y'all new members. I love Money in the Vortex. I love you. Billionfold return to your super chatters. Come on. Let's do it. Let's do it. So number 4 is that the risk of death is extremely low. In some places, the risk of death is lower than you driving to work and back home. Now, in some places, the risk of death is higher because of other mitigating factors, one of which is New York, New Jersey, and Queens. But when Queens is part of New York, what I found is that people were using New Jersey and New York. They were saying bodies are piled up in New Jersey. They can't even have funerals or burials. Oh my goodness, this is terrible. People were using the worst points of COVID, Italy, at New York, New Jersey, Queens, where you had these clusters, as if it were a barometer for the overall experience. And these were not. These were exceptional cases due to exceptional underlying issues that already, if you go to a New York hospital, I grew up in New York. A New York hospital, you go to the emergency room, you're going to be there for about 8-10 hours. You better take a book, take a few books, take your Kindle. While you're sitting in the emergency room, there are many other people around that are it's an emergency room full of sick people. So they found that they were spreading in the emergency room. So of course, these doctors and nurses were overrun because you're talking about a system that was already stressed. So you put COVID on top of, it's like putting the straw that broke the camel's back. Yet we must understand COVID is not the causative factor. COVID was the catalyst to reveal to us a much deeper issue. And the deeper issue is New York, what are you fucking doing about all your homeless people? What are you doing about all of the disenfranchised people? What are you doing about all the poor hospitalization issues? What are you doing about all the underlying issues that caused you to have it? Just revealed, COVID just revealed a cancer that was already present. So let's not take COVID and say it's so horrible because we looked at that microcosm. You must look at the macrocosm. And you must look at, well, there's more to the story. Baby, there's always still more to the story. Still waiting for you the stimulus check, huh? There's always more to the story. So that's number 4, that if so many people have it, the risk of death from it went way down. So you can relax. Number 5. Viruses. This is a very interesting thing about viruses. Let's talk about viruses for a minute. Viruses play a very important role in nature, right? You cannot stop a virus. This is number 5. So this flattening the curve shit, it's not going to happen. We have never been able to stop a virus. Viruses do the same thing every time they come. They run through the whole population. We get a lot of people sick, then we get herd immunity, and then it passes. It's no more people to infect. That virus dies. Every virus does the same thing. Same thing. SARS. You see, viruses, people want to think that this is some random thing that's just jumping on people and attacking people. No. Let's go back to ancient Egypt, known as Kemet. There is an order in the universe, including an order to viruses. And guess what? A virus is God just like you're God. And don't think that anything in this universe is against you. It's not. There is nothing in the universe that is inherently against you. You live in one with all life. How many viruses and parasites and bacteria are using you for a host right now? That's like the barnacle and the ship, or the barnacle, the whale, and the little fish that swim with the whale. You see this all over nature. Symbiotic relationships. You see this all over nature. The bird sitting on, I was on the African plains, and I remember that there would be water buffaloes standing there, and there would be birds sitting on them. The birds are pecking off the insects. The water buffalo can't peck off the insects off themselves. The birds are eating the insects that are landing on the water buffalo. This is a great symbiosis of life. So why are you thinking in your mind that there's some againstness? Drop your againstness and nothing will be against you. That's consciousness. This is the law of Kemet. Go back to ancient Egypt. All of the universe is one, the creator, the one as many. The one as many. That means the one is also COVID. Yes, I said it. God shows up as a virus. Some people will find that very hard to believe because you made up in your mind that there's an enemy. There is no enemy. This is the natural. This was happening on the savannah before when we lived in caves. Some viruses came and people were sneezing, and then it went through all the people, and then it went somewhere. It left. So this flattening the curve, not going to happen. You know what's going to happen? All the epidemiologists will tell you, you cannot stop a virus. It's going to hit all the people, and it's going to either hit them now or later. So it doesn't get you now. Did the virus go away? No. The virus is chilling. And in November, it's next flu season. Here comes COVID again because they told everybody to shelter and they aborted the herd immunity. We'll talk about herd immunity in number 7. But anyway, it's not over. It's not over because we were sheltering in place. It's not over. So viruses play a very important role in nature. And this virus really is the same as every other virus. There's no difference. And they all do the same thing. And if you talk to epidemiologists, they all tell you there's a system and every virus acts the same way. Somewhat. Okay, there's a pattern. I'm not saying that they're exactly the same. I'm saying there's a pattern. Just as every flower is not the same, yet the pattern in every flower is exactly the same. It's called the divine mean, which is also known as the Fibonacci sequence, which is in your face, which is a flower, which is a seashell, a nautilus seashell. I have the God bumps right now. There is a pattern to life. Let's come back to the truth. Number 6. The true determinant of what was going to happen for you in COVID is not COVID. Number 6 is the true determinant is your baseline health. Your baseline health. Who's in charge of your baseline health? Can I just ask that question? Put it in the chat. Who is in charge of your baseline health? McDonald's? You've been eating McDonald's. You've been, okay, thank you. That's right. That's right. That's right. Hello. Come on, Mad Love. Come on, Queen V. I'm responsible for my baseline health. So if I've been a man in Italy smoking for 40 years and I have been pummeling my lungs with toxins, 300 toxins that are in a cigarette, and I expect that I'm going to be rewarded with long life for that, well, that's fucking idiocy. Many of the people, your social distancing is not going to save you, right, Be Right Nature? Many of the men who died, and disproportionately more men than women died. If you look at the Italy numbers, you see they smoke like smokestacks. You doing this. What are you doing to your baseline health? I mean, people, all this is not hard to put together. All you have to do is do some research and begin to look at the thing below the surface. You see, you are in charge of your baseline health. So if you have a pre-existing condition, those were the people that had the issues. We're not just going to say pre-existing conditions. We're also going to say people that are elderly and at risk, right? And now the doctors are saying, we sent all the college kids home to their old grandmas and their elderly people. We probably infected all the old people by sending all the college kids home. Because all the college kids probably had it. They was passing it to each other, kissing each other, drinking from each other's drinks. I mean, have you watched college students? I got a college student. I'm like, wow. If one got it, they all got it. Trust me. Trust me, if one got it, they sharing dorm bathrooms. They sharing blunts. Trust me. And they don't care. College students don't even fucking care. Because at 18, 19, 20, you think you're invincible. You're going to live forever. That's why the virus ain't got them, because their thought process is in a whole different place. So we sent all the college kids home to their families. And if they had an elderly grandma there, the college kid we just transported the virus. The virus was happy. Yay, we're traveling to new hosts. And just went to the elderly family. People that have at-risk people at home, people who have high blood pressure, people who have the 4 chronic horsemen of the apocalypse that we talked about at the top of this vid. Okay? Your baseline health. That's what is going to determine your body's response to COVID. And who's in charge of your baseline health? So this is the opportunity to stop going to fucking McDonald's and stop going to happy hour and stop. I'm not saying don't drink. I have a drink here or there. I'm not telling you what to eat. I'm telling you that you know when you eating something that you ain't supposed to be eating, and simply acknowledge, you know what? This is affecting my baseline health. That's all. So that when something does come around, you see, I keep my baseline health as best I can. This morning, I ate from a vegan establishment. I eat the very best food I can at all times. I do yoga. I go in the sun. I drink plenty of water. I walk a lot. Almost, I don't even have a car. Everywhere I go, I'm walking. You see, I am in charge of my baseline health. You are in charge of your baseline health. So if you have these practices every single day of staying healthy and meditating and high vibration and having the feelings, as Dr. Joe Dispenza says, elevated emotions of bliss, beauty, joy, creativity. If you're doing what you love and COVID comes by, it'll just go like this. Whee! It'll play in your body for a little while and say, this is not a very comfy body for me. Your immune system will kill it. And then that'll be the end of that. Maybe you don't even have, you eat clean food every day, beautiful, be around nature. Maybe you don't even have any issues at all. Number 7, please write these down. Number 7, immunity can be in many more forms than simply antibodies. Now, I learned this from Dr. John Ioannidis of Stanford University. He says something very profound. He said, even if they test you and you don't have the antibodies, it's very likely that your immune system, because it's so complex and so intelligent, you have this whole system inside of you that's intelligent and complex. By the way, it lives in your gut. And if you don't have the healthy bacteria in your gut, how are you helping your immune system? You're not. And if you're eating this high acid diet, not alkaline diet, the acid is killing the healthy bacteria where your immune system lives. Death and life begins in the gut. Death begins in the gut. Get that gut taken care of, okay? Now, next, these antibodies, you could have immunity in many different ways. And scientists, we do not yet understand all of the many ways that your body creates immunity to all manner of things. Do you know how many things slapped you in the face today that you don't have? Do you know how many? We can't even count the things that slapped you in the face today, the things that crawled up your nose, went in your mouth as you were just walking outside. You got on a face mask. What about your eyes? Things are flying into your eyes at all times. What about your ears? You see, that's why the design of nature, please go to nature. Nature cannot lie. Nature only tells the truth. The design of nature is such that if something enters your nose, you have hairs to address that, to stop and fumble the stuff before it gets all the way in. If something enters your mouth, you have guardians at all the openings. You have eyelashes, you're walking outside and dirt is flying. It's not going to fly straight into your eyes because you're going to squint. That's just the natural thing to do when a lot of sand or dust or wind is coming your way, right? We go to Dubai, and in Dubai is the desert. So it's lots of sand. And no sand ever got my eyes. Why? Because you do like this normally, naturally. And you have something here called eyelashes. And it's getting the stuff out. What do you have in your ears? You have wax that's trapping some of the things. It's like something trapped in a spider web. You have ears, hair in your ears. You see, and in the vagina, the other opening, there is multiple killers in the vagina for anything. It'll even kill sperm that are not the hardiest sperm swimming up there. And then there's a closed hole so nothing can go into the uterus called the cervix. So shit is not going to just come and jump in your body. If something gets in your mouth, you got the tonsils. But what did they tell you? Take your tonsils out because they didn't know what to do with it. Excess stuff left over. Excess stuff, the genetic material left over from the day. Ain't nothing excess in your body. Just say, I don't understand what it's for. But a doctor would never tell you that. Oh, just take out your appendix. You don't need that. No, I'm going to have it. I'm going to keep it just in case. Because that doesn't make sense. There is nothing in nature that does not serve a purpose. Otherwise, it would not exist. So one of the problems that people have, especially with allopathic medicine, is they allow things, and this is one of the biggest killers in the hospital, staph infections and infections from IVs. Why? Because your blood system is a closed circuit. You're not supposed to puncture something here and stick it in. That's not supposed to happen. So an IV is very bad for you. So of course people get a lot of infections from IVs. Why? Because the body is not designed for something to enter your bloodstream in that fashion. Go with the design. Just go with the design. The design is something comes into your mouth, it goes into your belly. Your belly is full of acid. If it's not supposed to be there, it's going to be like, it's going to be killed in the acid. Then as it goes, if it survives the acid, your body's going to say, oh, it's ptomaine poisoning. Now, we got ptomaine poisoning when we were growing up because we lived in New York City. In New York City, we went to a whole lot of restaurants that we used to call them ptomaine pits. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? If you were in New York City and you grew up in New York City, we used to call them ptomaine pits. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? A ptomaine pit. That you knew that they probably had food poisoning in this place because this place was just nasty, but the food was so good. And so we still ate it. And what does your body do? Oh, ptomaine poisoning just came in. You're going to barf it up. Blech. It's going to say, eject, because this is too harmful to us. Eject. You drink too much alcohol and you start overwhelming the brain. Eject. The body is so intelligent. Why do you not rely on that intelligence that's beating your heart right now, that's regulating your blood pressure right now, that's building immunities right now to things that you don't even know you've been exposed to, but you rather listen to a dummy outside yourself telling you something else that you need a vaccine? We're mixed up. That's why this is Freedom TV. This show is Freedom TV. Let's go to number 8. That brings us, do we do 7? Yeah. So not only do you have this beautiful immunity, we're going to all together have herd immunity. And somebody said, when I was talking about herd immunity on Facebook, someone said to me, oh, so we just going to let all the old people die while we wait for herd immunity? Wow. This is very fascinating what is happening in the world today. That even when you start to speak truth to people, people are so steeped in their stupidity that they got from someone outside that they think that you are proposing something disastrous when you simply speak truth. Isn't that I find that fascinating. Wow. Did I say sacrifice all our elders? Wow. I said take care of our elders. I'm of African ancestry, if you hadn't noticed, and well, all humans are African ancestry, but anyway, we revere our elders. What Big Mama say goes. Yeah, we're going to take care of Big Mama. And guess what? My daughter was with her grandmama the other day, who is her dad's mom. She's 92. Yeah, we taking care of Big Mama. And guess what? If somebody try to come in the place and act like they not going to respect Big Mama, they going to catch a beat down. You can't go in no black house and disrespect Big Mama. So you don't know me and you don't know what I'm about. So just because I speak about herd immunity, because the young people and the children pass everything back and forth, they're always slobbing on each other. I had my 3 babies with me last night, my grandbabies yesterday. They're always slobbing on each other. They put everything in their mouth. They help us with herd immunity, and they're not going to get it. Number 8, vaccinations. I'm going to tell you something about vaccinations that I discovered in this thing. Not only are vaccinations probably one of the worst things that you could possibly do, but I'm going to tell you something about a vaccination and COVID that I could not even, I was amazed when I learned this. Guess what it said? The doctor said that it looks like people who got the flu shot, less people died from the flu, yet it looks like it made them more susceptible to COVID. I was like, oh my God. Look at this intelligence. That the coronavirus and the influenza virus that the two of them seem to be competing for hosts. You gonna tell me that this is not intelligence? Competing for hosts, which means that if you didn't get one, the other one's like, yeah, I can get you. Wow. But once again, if you were taking care of your baseline health, you wouldn't be concerned about either one. So did the vaccination actually help people, or did the flu shot actually make more people who would not have gotten COVID? Maybe they would have got a mild flu, and now, good to see you again, Yelvin! Mwah. And no way. Who's gonna take a flu shot? No, look, just say no. Until you do your thorough research. Too many people have given white coats their whole power. Here's all the power over me and my body, white coat. Tell me what to do. Really? Is that where we are? Fucking really? Is that where we are? No, see, I can't go out like that. You know why? Because my great-great-great-grandmother laid under a slave owner, and that's what put 10% of Germanic blood in my bloodstream. You see, I know my DNA. You see, and I don't know if she did it voluntarily or not voluntarily. You see, my great-great-great-grandfather has welts across his back for me. So you really think I'm not going to honor them and be with my wits about me because the very same people that enslaved thousands of people are now saying, well, let's just enslave all the people. We don't need shackles anymore. We have their minds. Who needs a shackle if I have your mind? And what I'm saying is that En Vogue was right. Free your mind and the rest will follow. Don't be so blind. Don't be so shallow. Free your mind, baby. Come on, Queen V. We know it's true, right? Our ancestors slaved, and not just mine, everyone's ancestors slaved, working, scrubbing. No electricity, digging ditches, whatever your great-great-great-great-grands were doing. So you could just walk around the planet and be oblivious and give away all your power, all your freedom that they won for you. I'm not going out like that. I'm not going to be the dummy in the line. It's a whole line of your ancestors. Don't be the dummy in the line. Like, look at this dumbass. Your ancestors is upstairs like, will you look at this dumbass? I cannot believe they're looking down on the planet. Look, did we not give them anything? But you don't even honor yourself enough, and you don't honor your ancestors enough to stand on your own 2 feet and have a straight back, even if that back has whelps across it. Number 8, vaccinations. So just do your study on vaccinations. Understand how they work, and understand that the flu shot vaccination actually made people more susceptible, it looks like, according to studies, to COVID. People who were at risk, right? Number 9, let's talk about these deaths, okay? Now, this is a very important thing to understand. Death versus life years. Please understand the distinction. This is number 9. I hope you're taking notes. I hope you're writing this down. And I hope you're teaching people. Teach people. Don't just stand there and let people be dumb. Teach and bring them out of fear. See, when you have knowledge and understanding and wisdom, that takes away fear. Because, oh, now I understand how this works. You won't have foolishness. That's your job. Teach people. Once you learn something from this video, go share it. Tell somebody, come watch this video. Then get out your notepad. Do your research. Write these things down. And free yourself. This is Freedom TV. Now, death versus lost life years. We were so focused on deaths. Oh my God, 50,000 deaths. Oh my God, 10,000 deaths. This is terrible. This is terrible. And one doctor, which was so brilliant, said, we have to also look at life years lost. If a 20-year-old dies and the life expectancy is 80 in the country where you live, depending on culture, depending on food, depending on lifestyle, depending on your baseline health, if a person dies at 20 and their life expectancy is 80, we have 60 life years lost. That's why it's so tragic when young people pass, or children or babies. It's so tragic because we mourn the potential. Like, what would this person have become, right? You don't mourn in the same way a 90-year-old person. You're like, well, they lived a good life. Look, we dared people to cry at my grandmother's funeral, 90 something, and my Aunt Marvel's funeral close to 100, and they told her she was so sick when she was little she would live past her 10th birthday. Aunt Marvel lived to almost 100. Hold on, you're not gonna lose it when Aunt Marvel. Come on, Aunt Marvel. Aunt Marvel, you did the good fight, girl. Aunt Marvel is in heaven, happy, laughing, appreciative. Do you understand that? So death and life years lost are two different things. So when we look at the people who died of COVID, if you was at death's door, people that are at risk, I'm not going to, it is not my intention to be crude. It is not my intention to be unkind or not compassionate. Every life is a life. Every life. And every life is equal to God, and every life is important. And let's also face the truth. Ain't none of us getting out of this thing alive. Now, thousands of people die every day. That's the order of life. That's supposed to happen. And whatever your religious beliefs are, your spiritual beliefs, there's something greater after this. Yes? So we all going. The question is not death. That's a certainty. You're going one day. Who knows what it's going to be or when it's going to be? I'm going. I'm going to be happy, right? We're going to all be happy because you're going to be free. You're going to be free of a body. So the question is not death. The question more becomes life years lost. Now, if I go now and I was going to be here till 100, and I'm going to come next year, I'm going to come up to the 24th anniversary of my 36th birthday. That means there's 41 life years lost. That's a lot. What can I do in 41 years? Oh my God. I just nearly got my consciousness together to even be able to do what I'm doing now. You know, after you go through your teen, your babyhood, and your teens, and your 20s, and your 30s, you just start to not be crazy somewhere around 40. And in your 40s and your 50s, that's why they say your greatest things are created 50 and beyond, because you just got some good sense and some wisdom. What can I create in the next 41 years? That's 41 years lost. So when we look at most of the people, probably 99% of the people, quote unquote, right? Just made 42. I just made it to 42. Beautiful. If we look at 99% of the people that have passed from COVID, first of all, we're going to talk about that in a moment because we don't know what they actually passed out. But if we say the numbers are true, let's assume, that's a big assumption. Now let's assume that that we have thousands of people that have died of COVID. 99% of them were very at-risk people. Cancer patients, lungs deeply compromised in Italy from smoking, pneumonia, already on the respirator. And many of them, I don't want to say it this way because I don't want to sound uncompassionate, were at death's door, many of them. And COVID was just like the banana peel. So what years lost do we have? And Dr. Ioannidis said this. He said, if you were about to die in 6 months and you died now from COVID, we lost 6 months of life years. Now that's going to go down as a COVID death. And yes, we're going to mourn that person's life. And yes, the family, and we're going to pray for the families. And let's come to some reality check. this person was probably going to go out very soon anyway. And that's between that person and their creator. I have nothing to do with that. So we cannot say just deaths. That's one tiny sliver of the whole equation. And I desire to open your mind to look at the whole fucking equation. Don't just look at these little tiny slivers that look so horrible. Look at the whole thing. And then you'll have peace. Number 10. So that's number 9 is deaths versus life years lost. Let's look at number 10. Focus. You're focused on one thing, and your focus causes a distortion of the facts. So the focus was on 50,000 people dying from COVID. That's what you're focused on. That's what the news is talking about. That's what the president's talking about. That's what the prime minister is talking about. We're focused, and because we're focused on this one tiny area, and 50,000 people dead is not tiny. That's huge. That's 50,000 lives that we honor. 50,000. We are not at all looking at more people died from car accidents, more people died from diabetes, more people died from heart disease, more people died from stroke/hypertension, more people died from cancer, and more people died from being in medical care. These 6 things have killed way more people than COVID. But because we're so focused on that, it creates a distortion. And I'm a distortion killer. Just call me a serial killer for distortion. Get rid of the distortions because we're all focused on it. That creates a distortion. You want to come to truth. Number 11. Someone calling on my other line. Number 11. Let's talk about death certificate inaccuracies. Let's talk about that. Death certificate inaccuracies. In every country, they have a different way that they fill out a death certificate. In every state, they have a different way that they fill out death certificates. And doctors will even tell you this is a problematic thing, death certificates. Half the time, we don't really know what people died of. And this whole dying of COVID and dying with COVID is 2 totally different things. If you went death's door on a respirator and the family was trying to figure out whether to take you off the respirator or not, and all of a sudden COVID came into the picture and the doctor already knew, you're on a respirator, you can't even breathe on your own, and probably got, as soon as they take the respirator out, something's going to happen, but COVID got in the mix. And now all of a sudden the person's gone. That goes as a COVID death. And in essence, we do not know how many people have actually died of COVID because we did not have an accurate test. This is not science-based. This is not fact-based or evidence-based. And in order to find out what someone died of, you would have to do an autopsy. So many of them said, okay, well, let's just put down cause of death for COVID. We already know, and this is coming up later on, that many people went to the doctor, to the hospital in these areas, these stressed areas, and were put down on a death certificate COVID, and they did not die of COVID. That's coming out now. The death certificate inaccuracies. We don't know how many people died of COVID. We do not. That's the truth. Number 12. People were contracting COVID in hospitals, and I think we already covered how that was happening, okay? Meanwhile, while you had these very stressed hospitals in a very few places, you had other hospitals that were completely empty because they told all the people that really were sick, don't come to the hospital, and they got them all out preparing for COVID, and then the hospital was empty. I was in New Orleans. I went past the hospital every day. I was just walking past the hospital. Spirit had me there sitting outside praying, being in praise. There wasn't nobody in that hospital. Hospital was empty. Doctors being laid off all across the country because they cleared out the whole hospitals and ain't nobody coming to the hospital. They told people don't come to the hospital. But then you say, oh, but what about the paramedics? What about people on the front lines? They're picking up dead bodies and they're finding dead people. Probably so. You know why? Because if you had liver disease or you were on a kidney kidney failure or liver disease or heart disease or the things that you would normally be in the hospital for, and they told you go home, of course you're gonna call an ambulance. You can't survive at home. You need round the clock care. These things to me are common sense. So of course you're gonna have more paramedics because they took all the people that were sick, really sick in the hospital, go home, COVID's coming, oh my God. Then the hospital's there waiting for the COVID people and the COVID people never showed up. Many people got laid off. Doctors got laid off. They were sitting there in the hospital not knowing what to do. But you look at certain hospitals, they look stressed beyond max. But that's not the whole picture. Number 13. There's a broader story here, and I talked about that already. I covered that already. Number 13 is a broader story. There's always a broader story to what's happening. So if you look on the news and you see all these people dying in New Jersey, bodies piling up, oh my God, this is so bad. Because of course the news wants to stoke fear because that's going to keep you coming back. Best thing you can do is go to your TV, unplug that sucker, and forget about it. Unplug it. Don't watch nothing. I haven't watched anything at all on TV related to it at all. I don't even know what's going on with it because my life hasn't changed at all except for getting better. Hadn't changed at all. I go outside every day, do everything I normally do, go get me some delicious food. I just got the place to myself now. I get to walk around the French Quarter. It's beautiful. Wasn't a whole bunch of people around puking and all that kind of stuff. They were home. They were in the streets getting drunk. Had the whole French Quarter to myself, sat in the parks. It was lovely. It was very lovely. I'm here in Miami walking all around. You see people walking outside. It's very beautiful. Fresh air. All the animals started to come out and play again because the Mother Nature had put all the kids in timeout. She put all the kids in timeout. That's us. Now, and I'm not making light or jest of illness or death. Not at all. I'm saying that illness and death are a part of life. And we ought to embrace that, not be afraid of it. And we ought to send people out in a wonderful, glorious, beautiful way and honor their life. And accept, just like my mama went on to glory and she's right here. Just like my mama's mama went on to glory and she's right here. Just like my daddy went on to glory, my mama's daddy went on to glory and they're right here. You see, this is a thing to celebrate. That's why we call it a homegoing. We call it a celebration of life. Number 14. The vast majority of hospitals were empty. We already talked about that. Or underutilized. We already talked about that. That's number 14. Number 15. We already talked about cause of death, but I'll go into cause of death a little bit now with young people because people got very worried. Oh my goodness, the young people got it. And there was a lot of focus if a young person got COVID because this is a disaster. Yet, it was said that there was a young person that went to the hospital and they put the death down as COVID and the person died because they were on a motorcycle and had a head injury. But because COVID was present, they put down cause of death was COVID and the person died of a head injury from being on a motorcycle. If you have a head injury and COVID is present, I don't think your big concern is COVID. I think you need to get your head back into one piece. That's what I would think. Lastly, this is the last thing I want to, so we've gone through all 15 and this is what I want to leave with you. I want to leave with you two very important things. Number one, please free your mind. Please free your mind. Unplug your mind from the matrix. This is Freedom TV. I'm here for your freedom spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, and financially. I'm here for your freedom. If you like freedom, you like Freedom TV, then by all means subscribe. Bring people here. We're going over 100,000 subscribers very soon. Make it happen. Make it happen. Make it happen. Pick up my books. Go to ValerieLove.com. There you see my author page on Amazon.com. Just buy all the books. Buy the books. If you like them, if you like what I'm talking about, go buy the books. Show your solidarity and support, right? Don't just watch. Don't be that one in the community just lurking around and watching, but doesn't bring anything to the community. How do you bring something to the community you support? You saw our members. You saw the super chats. You saw book sales. You saw this. That's how we're in this together. This is not a one-sided conversation where I just throw stuff at you. This is a partnership. This is a partnership. Okay? So that's number one, free your mind. Free your mind. Number two, take care of your health. You see, I heard this from a doctor and I thought this was delicious. He said this. He said, there are things you can do. I love it. Yay, you bought the book, Universal Faith. Mwah. Thank you to everyone who made this book. Absolutely. Bestseller list, 3 bestseller lists. How to Be a Christian Witch. My latest book, 18th book. And it is selling like hotcakes, and I pray it brings a lot of blessings. And if you have any of my books, leave a review on Amazon. So I'm going to leave you with this. This is what? Queen V, get the paperback and the Kindle. Y'all need both, okay? Paperback and the Kindle. Get the Kindle and the paperback. You see, because what happens is when you get the sales in the beginning, that tells Amazon, ooh, this is a good book. It shows it to more people, shows it to more people, shows it to more people. Amazon has an algorithm too. If you love what I do and you support what I do, I expect y'all to buy the Kindle and the paperback. Now, that's what I expect. Just like when the birthday come around and you expect your boo to give you something. I'm telling y'all what I expect. I expect that. You know why? Because I've earned the right to ask. Because I show up and I show up every day and I show up and I give you something, whether you bought something or not. It's all free of charge. So I expect that you would show your appreciation and that you would buy the Kindle. You're going to buy the paperback. You're going to buy extra paperbacks to give to your friends. You're going to buy the other books. You're going to give them to your friends. That's what I expect. And that's what I'm asking for. And I pray that you do the same thing in your life. You know you change lives. You know you help people. You ought to be requiring that the people that are drinking of that well, that you do something for the water. You drinking the water, you need to do something about that. Hello? And that's the kind of community we have, and it's beautiful because look how giving our community is. And we're not talking about just a casual book. We're talking about a life-changing book that's changing the world. I had to see y'all running out buying 10 and 20 books and giving them people. Matter of fact, we're going to come up with some book packages on the website that I did, came to me the other day, and have ambassadors because that's what kind of book this is. Okay? So family, I want you to think very big. I want you to think, what if I bought 100 books and I gave it to 100 witches? I want you to think big. When I go on tour, on book tour, I expect y'all to show up and be having a stack of books for me to sign. Don't show up to no book signing that I do and bring one book. I'm going to beat you 40 lashes with a wet spaghetti. I'm going to beat you. Okay? Not for the way a witch be showing up to y'all. Nah. Y'all bets to come correct. A book ain't nothing but $7, $8, $10. And y'all can spend $20 and some people, not y'all, because y'all eat well. Some people spend $20 in McDonald's, fast for a day, and buy 2 books. Danielle, this sister is going off today, right? So anyway, here's the second thing that I want to leave you with. Take care of your baseline health. I'm going to put under this vid a link to our Wellness Vortex. We have a Wellness Vortex group on Facebook, and we have a whole wellness community where we teach health, because health and wellness is one of my big things, as you can tell. It's a passion of mine, because your health, your body is comporting your soul. If you don't have good health, what do you have? You could have all the money in the bank. There are people right now that have all this money and they can't buy their health. And what are they doing? They're laying in a bed and they want to be up and about. And you have your health. So while you have your health, it is up to you. Oh my God, Danielle knows about the vortex because Danielle's in the vortex. I will be in the vortex forever. Forever. If you saw the amount of products that I use today from the vortex, you'd be like, damn, you use it for everything. Soap, lotion, shower, everything, makeup, skincare, vitamins, everything. Everything. So family, it's really time to step up. That's Freedom TV for today. I'm Reverend Valerie Love. I absolutely love you. And I want you to go to ValerieLove.com because we got tons of good stuff there for you. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. Stay healthy, stay happy, stay wealthy, and stay really, really, really free. Don't get you started right there, y'all. Mwah. Peace. Kaisi out.